We know the old saying, curiosity killed the cat. Well, truth be told, it's quite a true fact. The subject, however, it may be different, but all in all, it's quite the same. Well, this reminds me of a story from far, far way back, about a girl named Lucy Suzanne Mack. Lucy was a girl always minding her manners, but one day, poor Lucy, she went bananas. It started out like any other night, but poor Lucy was in for quite a fright. Being the kind of girl she was, she always stayed after to clean off the board, for it was quite a disaster. She got to the board, got straight to work, but suddenly she heard a knocking and jerked. She went to the door and looked around, but no one was in sight. No one could be found. So she returned, she picked up the eraser, about to erase, until she saw a letter that was in a previously clean space. She erased the C with ease and stepped to the side to finish her task. Then there was a loud knocking. She ran to the window and stared far out, but all she could see was the black about. So back to the board she went with a shiver. She stumbled back, unknowing what to do, and tried to erase what was now new. She had a sentence left when she heard a third knocking, which appeared near the wall without stopping. As soon as she returned, she was greeted with a fact that the board now spelled a word, and it was cat. Seeing that, she dropped what was in her hand and thought to run as fast as she can, all the way to her car, her quick, fast feet taking her quite far. Once in her car, she jammed in the keys, trying to forget those unsettling sights, walking to her dorm, but her key slipped from her fingers and onto the floor. When her head rose back up, she thought, what is this atrocity? As she stared upon the word curiosity. As soon as she finished that singular thought, she opened the door and fled from that spot, her back against the door, waiting for a knock. Her trembling fingers locked the lock. She sat down. I noted the distress, but what should appear on the screen but another word? Killed. At this, she flipped out and shot out of her chair, fled out of her room and ran downstairs. Her breathing had slowed, and her heart rate was normal. She looked ahead and realized something on the table. A slice of chocolate cake that looked quite delicious. Yet unknown to her, the cake was very suspicious. She put a piece in her mouth and began to chew. But then she soon realized the cake was made of glue. Her lips were stuck together. The taste was so tart. Even with her hands, her lips wouldn't part. She stared at the plate. Her lips were now dry. Where she stared, goodbye. The poison in the cake set in, and Lucy's face was now stuck in a horrifying grin. So what's to learn from this horrible tale? Listen to me without fail. Act like a curious cat, and you'll be dead upon your back. Like poor Lucy Suzanne Mack.